So we tried to think about heroes that we have in different parts of the world. And so for our next speaker, we're actually going to travel to India because it's late evening there. And we're going to be speaking, or I'm going to be speaking to Rupa Trivedi, who has for many years now been working with natural color and natural dyes with a very special project using temple blessings. So before we have that conversation, we're just going to start with a short video that explains some of Rupa's work, and you'll be able to enjoy it. Then I'll come back. So welcome, Rupa. Good evening.
Good evening, and thank you so much, Philip. And hello, Lee. And that wonderful speech of wonderful presentation of Mary has just made me even more nervous. I mean, what amazing work that she does. But yeah, it is about fractured souls. So probably Adiv is also in a way touching those fractured souls through our work. You know.
Absolutely. So, Rupa, you've touched so many people's lives, hearts in the past decade or so. I've seen your textiles travel the world, from Mumbai to Los Angeles to Santa Fe during the folk market, at Mallorca during Extant. So, I think it's one of Lee's favorite dresses that she has. She has a few of your dresses. So she loves wearing them so much because, of course, they're imbued with literally the material of nature as well as the blessings. So I just wanted to ask you to start by explaining a little bit how you started this project.
So this project for me, it was a sort of a journey of self-discovery in many ways. It was born out of my desire to truly connect to my own creativity and to nature. Living in a city like Mumbai, which is always so commercial and so noisy, nature is a far off thing for us. But still, there was something in me that needed to connect to nature. Anyway, however, this business did not really start, but this was not a business idea. It was probably a feeling of discomfort, always noticing the struggles of the feeling or of the people around me, of people of Mumbai and my surroundings, especially the women who went through constant challenges for survival, abuse, addiction, instability, lack of indignity, and a sense of self-respect and identity. Even though it seemed impossible to them, they were looking for dignity and work. At the same time, I also became very aware of our cultural tradition of flowers offered with so much devotion in the temples, and then just being disposed into water bodies, ending up in rivers, and in my case, more closer home into the sea. It felt wrong, like something sacred was being forgotten. Somehow these two realities came together, and I just asked a simple cat question. Can we get these flowers a second life? And in doing so, create a new life for people too? That is how Adi began. A very small, very imperfect, organic unit coming together with a lot of heart. Together, we immersed ourselves in the journey of discovering our hands and the natural dyes from these blessings. It's almost 20 years now. Once we started this journey of a mole in the hole and not stopped, today we have inadvertently created a legacy of sorts, and that must be protected and preserved. Oh, thank you so much, Lee, for wearing Adi.
Oh yeah, she's putting her dress on. We'll have to show Lee later on. So Rupa, the name Adiv, it also has special significance, perhaps, because maybe it stems from a particular root. So could you explain why you called it, this name?
So Adiv is a combination of two Sanskrit words, Aditya as well as Avni. Aditya means the sun, and Avni means the earth. The confluence of sun and earth that bestows us with nature, that nourishes and nurtures our very existence. Adi came from the idea of something original, something rooted, something from the earth. It is the inception actually of the urban artisans, as I've always felt, as well as my own journey of my own passion, born out of this desire to connect my latent creativity to nature. For me, it embodied going back to what is pure and essential, working with nature and not against it. In a way, our journey at Adiv is an example of rediscovering its remembering that we don't need to invent about everything new. Sometimes the answers are already there in tradition, in nature, in simple ways of living that need to be rediscovered and kind of worked upon to show the world a new picture.
Hmm.
Adi's work is like a natural extension of the culture and represents our love for nature, which has been documented from Vedic times. It connects us as humans who have evolved in tremendous levels, and yet in many ways we are somehow lost, as we just heard Mary speak about. And that touch of sensitivity which is lost, the fragmentations that are happening. Adi is about sensitivity and love, love for humans, the environment, and that all which heals the world and makes it a better place.
And so these flowers, from the temple that you work with in Mumbai, they are part of the puja. So for people that are not familiar with what a puja is, it's in a way the Tamil word for the flower act, the idea of using flowers in ceremony and blessings. So
Yeah.
Keith Recker in his beautiful book called True Colors, he calls your work a blend of spirituality and social action. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the social action side. Maybe you can tell the audience a little bit about the people you work with and how this work has impacted their lives or changed their lives.
Well, first of all, let me tell you about the flowers. The flower offerings is something which is very common in our culture and tradition in India. It is our way of showing gratitude and an intention of goodness, prayer, and an important part of our tradition. It is a heartfelt act of devotion. As per tradition, it is also considered disrespectful to discard them in waste bin and were always disposed in water bodies. So this is where we managed to somehow get these flowers into Adiv. It's a long story about how we really touched the temples, but the temple, became our first source of the blessings to come into our unit and bring the hands together to work upon it and create these beautiful textiles. This these blessings came to life at Adi when the humans who touched them began their magic. So it's a passionate desire of the workers who have come together over here. Totally, they are beautiful hands that have never ever really known that they were beautiful. Some people they are unskilled people living in dire circumstances in our country, in our city, in my city especially. And I had this need that I would like to bring them together to do something meaningful and give them the dignity of work. Thus, my team came together. They are my team, and they consist of talented, young self-taught people, primarily women. I have a deepest sense of respect for them and lovingly call them my urban artisans. A designation they strived hard to earn. When these people came together, they often came with very little confidence and highly insecure, coming from socially and economically challenging backgrounds. I would like to share a couple of stories, if it's okay with you, about Tabu and Mukhtar, two of my oldest and most talented members and dyers of Adi, always self-taught, who had no idea what did natural dyes mean, but we learned together. Tabu came from a very, very sad background where she was at the very young age of 20 thrown out of her house by her husband and with two small kids, not knowing anything except sweeping and swabbing of the house floors. From there, she went on to become a very strong and stable dyer today. And today she can teach internationally. Similarly, Mukhtar was a drug addict. He was lost soul. He was a very intense boy, but had no one to guide him through and make him feel that it's okay to be himself. That intensity of his, I think, got very well channeled into natural dyes, and today he has a very good understanding of natural dyes. He has come with me to teach at various colleges internationally, including the IFAM, where we have conducted workshops, and Textile Center, where we conducted workshops. And he is a very good teacher, especially with children. So I think somewhere we have come together. These youngsters have embraced natural dyes with supreme enthusiasm, despite having little technical skill or education. They've not only mastered the fine art of natural dyes, but they've also reinvented many shibori techniques with their creativity. In fact, many of our techniques are also named after them. We have a taboo texture, we have a mukhtar texture. So many of our textures have now gotten named after them. They found at Adiv a natural home for their latent creativity. What began as two pots in a kitchen has today grown to foster the small but enthusiastic group of young men and women who have become steady income earners for their family. Together, we discovered beautiful mysteries of art and natural dyeing and preserve this traditional Indian art. At Adi, we are a family of dyers. Together, we play, together, we work, and together, to the tune of nature's living colors, we survive.
Yeah, and together you're making beauty. So I understand that you have a special announcement that you'd like to share with our audience, which is the first time maybe that you're talking about this. So maybe I'll share some images and you can talk us through the new foundation that you're starting.
Yeah. Thank you again, Philip. As I grew older, I've been thinking a lot about what happens to this work in the future. This cannot depend on one person. It has been a one-woman army that I have been so far. Today, with full heart, allow me to introduce Rupa Foundation, which is about creating a structure where the artisans themselves can lead, where the knowledge, the skills, and the decision-making stays within the community. There will be guidance from friends and well-wishers, but the core about it will always belong to them. And beyond that, I would love this to become a place of learning and an experience center. Rupa Foundation will grow from the seeds sown at Adi, pure nature, but go further, increasing both reach and scope and shepherding our work into the future. What I began in Adi 20 years ago was just a dream and two pots in a kitchen. Never did I imagine we could be able to achieve what we have by upcycling plant-based environmental waste, training artisans to dye with it, and creating a dignified employment and fostering a respect for nature, for all the while making beautiful textiles. Never did I imagine Adi would touch so many hearts, but now I know that there's much more we can do together. Rupa Foundation has been now registered as a non-profit foundation to preserve and create more of these techniques, empower women, and sustain our environment. We will building on the environmental practices and begun at Adiv. Rupa Foundation would like to take some more steps to preserve, protect, and extend Adiv's legacy achievements for the future and protect the sacred temple blessings going forward. I'm hoping for a lot of support internationally and globally.
I'm sure you're going to get it. Not only are these fabrics beautiful, but as you've already explained to us, they're imbued with the hopes and aspirations of everybody that's been praying in the temples or even in the mosque that you've worked with. Um,
Yes.
so when people come to Mumbai or when they go to your website, how can they access or get involved?
Oh, they can definitely, connect with us. And actually, it has always been our buyers who have been our inspiration. So anyone who would like to connect with us is most welcome. I love working with everyone because that is how we have learned these myriad techniques. Our work has always been more dependent on the lot of inspiration that our buyers bring to us, and actually that is how they have become my heroes. My buyers are my heroes as much as my artisans who are my heroes. So
Okay.
anyone who would like to, they can go onto my website and connect with us directly. And of course, if you're ever coming to Mumbai, please make Mumbai a stop. Come and see this world. It's beautiful. Not just because I'm saying so, but I know you will like it. All of you.
Thank you for the invitation and thank you for being with us today. Lee, do you want to say something because you're also a fan?
Well, I'm wearing the glorious stuff. I discovered it a few years ago,
Honored.
and it is empowering even when you dress in this, because it seems that the fabrics are emanating light by themselves. It's like it changes your personality, and it's a gift. It's a double gift of power to the person, but also to the spirit. So it's very important for me. It's rare
Thank
to
you so much.
spiritual fashion today, so thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Rupa.